YouTube, the Boston Celtics are absolutely dominant to start out of the gate in 2025. They have come out of the gate swinging after raising the banner 18 to open the 2025 NBA season, and in this video, I'm going to tell you why I believe the Celtics are unbeatable. The Celtics might win 70 games. I'm not exaggerating, they look that good. First of all, let's just take a brief rundown on all three of their games so far to start the NBA season. In game one, they played the first game of the season against the New York Knicks on the 22nd of October. And, let's be real, the Knicks are a legit playoff contender. They are one of the big Boston Celtics challengers this year. They looked absolutely outclassed in this game. No offense to them, any team would have. The Celtics end up beating the Knicks handedly, 132 to 109. That score doesn't even tell the full story. It was much larger of a deficit than that, in my opinion. And the Celtics actually tied the record for 29 three-pointers made in this game, the NBA record in a regular season game all time. So 29 three-pointers, folks. That is absolutely ridiculous against a playoff team with a good defense. The New York Knicks might have the best two wing defenders in the league as a tandem, and the Celtics' primary scorers are two wings, and they still put up 29 threes on 47% from the three-point line against the New York Knicks. That's just game one. You could say, oh, well, game two and game three, they played non-playoff teams, right? But again, I just don't think it matters with how they're playing. I don't think anybody can beat this team right now with the way they're playing, and by the way, I forgot to mention, they're doing it all without arguably their third best player in Kristaps Porzingis, who when he comes back, this team's even going to be more dominant. But I digress. In game two, they play the Washington Wizards. Again, for sure, it's going to be a lottery team, but still, Celtics put up 17 threes on 38%. That is low for the Celtics compared to the two other games, 17 threes. They win that game 122 to 102 in Washington. In game three against Detroit, again, Detroit, not a great team this season, I don't think. They have gotten a lot better, but still probably not a play-in caliber team. Celtics win this game at Detroit 124-118. It was a little bit closer than the other ones, but the Celtics put up 22 three-pointers on 46% shooting from the three-point line as a team. This is absolutely insane numbers to start the season. And by the way, all the people saying Jayson Tatum isn't a number one, he's no good, he can't lead this team, Jaylen Brown's the guy. Listen, the way Jayson Tatum is playing, he is on an absolute tear to start this season. He is making a lot of people that were criticizing him very quiet online. Tatum in the first three games is averaging 33 points per game, 6.3 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.3 steals, and about a block per game on 1 turnover per game, mind you. That is a 6-to-1 turnover ratio. He is shooting 55% from the field and 49% from the three-point line on 12 attempts per game, okay? These are MVP numbers. Jaylen Brown, through the first three, 25 points per game, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Hasn't been shooting the ball exceptionally well from the field, but from the three-point arc, he is fantastic. 46% on 8 attempts per game. That is elite. Derrick White even averaging 20 points per game throughout the first three, with 4 rebounds, 4 assists, steal and a block on 53% from the field and 44% from the three-point line. 8 attempts per game, folks. This is an unstoppable, unbreakable team, in my opinion. Again, they're doing it all without their third best player. And listen, I'm a Sixers fan. I'm not a Celtics fan. I don't like the Celtics, but I can acknowledge when a team is unbeatable. And in fact, they actually terrify me as a Sixers fan, as someone who's hoping to take them down in the playoffs, which, yeah, good luck to anybody trying to do that. I've gotten so many comments on my channel throughout the last few months. I've been saying that the Celtics are going to be as good as they were last season, potentially even better. And, right out of the gate, they're showing that they are that same team. They are them, right? So many people have said, oh, the Boston Celtics, they're overrated, right? They played, unhealthy teams in the Eastern Conference. They had an easy road to the finals, and, they basically had no resistance getting there. And once they got there, they just beat an overachieving Mavs. That is absolutely absurd, folks. This team, no one would have beat this team in the playoffs last year. I don't care who it is. If anybody's healthy, that goes for the Milwaukee Bucks. If they were healthy, Celtics take them down. No question for me. If they had faced a worse matchup in the Western Conference in the finals, a lot of people say Denver. Denver had a 6-man rotation. I don't know how you could say that any team in the league last season beats the Celtics in the 2024 NBA playoffs. They were going to win that finals no matter who they faced and no matter who was healthy, in my opinion. Would it have been a little bit more difficult with a guy like Giannis healthy in their way, with the Knicks fully healthy? Maybe. It probably would have been more difficult. Those would have been better series. But at the end of the day, man, you play who you play, and they dominated their way all the way to the Larry O'Brien Trophy, and I believe they're going to do it again. The way the Celtics are shooting the basketball and the way they shot the basketball last season, let's not forget, this is the most efficient offense in NBA history last season, according to all the numbers. They are shooting the basketball better than any team I've ever seen. That goes for the Golden State Warriors in their prime. They also just aren't shooters. They can beat you in so many different ways offensively, and that is the problem of why they're so difficult to guard. You got to guard that three-point line so tight, but when you have penetrators like Jrue Holiday, Jayson Tatum, Tatum, Derrick White, and Jaylen Brown, those guys are just going to finish at the rim, at really good efficiency. The drive and kick game is so lethal. All of these guys can shoot out there on the floor. Every single player other than maybe Luke Cornett that you're going to see on the floor for the Boston Celtics at any given time are a capable and honestly really good three-point shooter for their position. They're all smart. They all read the game well, and it's not just offense, folks. Defensively, the Boston Celtics are the most switchable 1 through 5 in the entire league. That's with Horford or Kristaps Porzingis at the 5. They can all switch on almost any position. You have two of the best and honestly all NBA defense players in the backcourt, Holiday and White. Those guys are excellent defenders, two of the best in the league at perimeter defense. They are very switchable. They can guard multiple positions as well. And then Tatum and Brown, obviously athletic defenders with good rim protection, help defense upside that can guard multiple positions. And then Horford is just a monster on defense, as well as Kristaps Porzingis. This team is more dynamic and versatile through their 8-man rotation or 7-man rotation that they have than anybody in the league. I don't even think it's that close, man. You could say maybe the Thunder are a little bit behind them. They play in a different conference. If they're going to face the Thunder, it's going to be in the finals. But the West is so tough, I don't even know if they will get there. And so, in the East, I just don't see anyone beating this team as it sits. Again, I could have my mind changed. It is a long season. This is 3 games and 2 of them against, not playoff caliber teams. I get it, right? But for all the people saying that the Celtics, had an easy path to the finals and they got there by, everybody else was injured and they, would have really struggled against certain teams, that is just too far. That's just not true. It's one thing to say, well, it's 3 games and, they can't shoot like that forever. I get it. I agree with that, right? But it's another thing to say they're overrated because of their playoff run last year. I mean, this team is by far the best team in the NBA. I made an NBA team tier list this week, and I had the Celtics in their own tier above everybody else, okay? The Celtics are just in their own class, and until they prove us otherwise that a team is on their level, that's where they should be considered. They are the best team far and away in the NBA. It's not even that close, in my opinion. You have teams that could make it difficult for them in the playoffs. If, Joel Embiid and Paul George are healthy, to go into the playoffs, yeah, that could be a tough series for the Celtics. If the New York Knicks get things rolling, right, and Mitchell Robinson comes back, he looks good, maybe make a move for some depth at the deadline, yeah, they could make that a tough series. The Bucks, they got a lot of length and size as well. They're a pretty versatile team defensively. Yeah, maybe that could be a tough series. Orlando Magic look good. There's a ton of teams that could make it a tough series, but if I had to bet money on what team's going to make it to the finals and win the finals, I would bet almost everything I have that the Celtics are going to do that, okay? And I actually think they have a legit shot at 70 games this season in the regular season. They look so dominant. And this is the type of team that throughout a regular season, they're so versatile, they're so durable, other than Kristaps Porzingis, that, they're just going to steamroll their way through the Eastern Conference and the regular season like they did last year. It's not even going to be close, I want everybody that, doesn't think the Celtics are legit, even though they're coming off a finals ring and they're 3-0, they're shooting at a record pace without their third best player. Let me know down in the comment section, all you Celtics deniers, right? Right now as it sits, with everybody healthy, and that includes Kristaps Porzingis, who's beating this team in a 7-game series? Can you name anybody? Maybe if you want to get crazy, you could say one of the Western Conference teams. I don't think anybody in the East is taking this team to 7 games. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I know it's 3 games. I know I'm overreacting, but I just can't stand the narrative that the Celtics aren't, in a tier of their own. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Make it make sense. I don't know how you can deny that. And so please let me know if you guys don't agree with me, why in the comment section the Celtics aren't that team that, could win 70 games and with a pretty big margin, finals favorite right now in the NBA. And listen, you could say, oh, you're glazing, right? That's what people say. Man, I have no reason to glaze. Trust me, the Celtics are my least favorite team in the NBA. I have no reason to praise them. I try to be objective on this channel. That's what we're all about here. I'm a diehard Sixers fan, right? I bleed Sixers blue, right? But that doesn't mean I have to go like this to every single other team that's better than my team. It just, we're objective on this channel, and objectively, the Celtics are that much better than everybody else. And that includes teams that I like the Sixers. And so Celtics fans, congratulations. If I had to bet money on it again, it would be banner 19. All right. Tatum is having an MVP caliber start to the season. Again, I know it's only 3 games, right? 3 out of 82. But tell me right now, the way they look, that I'm wrong. Just tell me I'm wrong and tell me why. And, I'll listen to you, but I just don't hear a case. I don't hear a legitimate case articulated throughout the entire internet, other than bias like Tatum slander and, maybe Knicks fans or Sixers fans, why this team isn't that great. Please let me know. I think they win 70 games if they can keep this up. No one's beating this team right now. It's just not going to happen. We'll have to see later in, a couple weeks, they play some more playoff teams, what they look like against some of the best competition. But again, the Knicks are one of those teams, and they absolutely blew them off of the floor, okay? And mind you, this isn't a team that has to be as motivated as some of the other teams. They know they're better than everybody else, and they just rose their 18th banner and got their rings. Make it make sense, man. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I just have to come on here and give my takes objectively. I don't want this to be the reality we live in, but it is the reality we live in, and I don't think people should deny it anymore. I wish it was a different reality where my team was as good as the Celtics, but it's just not. And so please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment. Celtics fans, how happy are you that your team looks like this to start the season? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I'm cool to listen to all you guys in the comments and engage with you guys and, have our little discussions down there, but, please keep it respectful. I will not tolerate name calling, disrespect. I don't want to, treat you guys like children, but just don't act like children, and I won't have to. All right. So please keep it respectful in the comments, but it's okay to disagree as long as you're making points that are about basketball, right? Don't insult people. That's not what we do here, man. This is an objective, basketball hoops discussion, right? So please do that in the comments if you guys feel so inclined. Now, if you did enjoy the video, please leave a like. We're going to be talking about stuff like this every single day on this channel throughout the NBA season, right? It could be on your favorite team next. And so if you enjoyed the content, I'm usually a little bit more organized with the content. It's not usually this ranty and kind of fast paced, right? Like we usually keep things pretty tight and organized in the videos, but these last couple I've had to rant a little bit because I feel, passionately about these subjects, and that's why I even have this channel in the first place. So please leave a like and subscribe if you guys haven't already to watch more content like this every single day on the channel, all things NBA every day. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Follow my Twitter, links down in the description. You can become a member for $4.99 a month, where you get custom emojis in the comment section where I will reply to your comments first. I will follow you back on Twitter, and I will shout new and returning members out at the end of every single video. And it's just a great way to support me. If you guys did enjoy it, those are the things you could do. Other than that, have a great rest of your day today. Hopefully my Sixers dethrone the Celtics. That's what I'm hoping for. We need some wins, Sixers. Get those guys back healthy. Embiid and Paul George, they're laughing at us right now, folks. We got to win some games. I'll see you guys tomorrow. This is your boy D-Haven. As always, peace.